Hello, my name is Petra, and I'm here to tell you my positive tinnitus story. I want to say that I'm not a medical professional and nothing that I'm saying is a medical advice. I'm just talking about my own experience with tinnitus and how and when I started recovery. So I started hearing tinnitus almost 2 years ago. It was in the beginning of a summer holidays. I was putting my daughter to sleep, and I remember I was thinking about how much nicer our day is going to be, not having to rush from one place to another and doing the school runs. And that's when I heard the sound for the first time. It was in my right ear, and it was quite like a static beeping. My husband has tinnitus once in a while, and it normally goes away, so I didn't make much of it at first. I didn't take it too seriously. I struggled to fall asleep that night a little bit, but didn't think much of it. Unfortunately, it didn't go away, and after a few days, it started really stress me out. I started to struggle to fall asleep, and I started to get really anxious and depressed, quite frankly. First, I started to look for the cause because I just couldn't believe and I couldn't figure out where it's coming from. I thought it could be a neck injury for whatever reason. We went to this adventure park a few days before, and I don't know why I thought that, but I thought maybe I sprained my neck somehow. So I started different exercises and something called chin tucks, and that made it worse, like way worse. Some of these exercises really, and that's what kind of encouraged me to think that it's neck injury, because every time I did some sort of exercise it got so much worse. I went on to Google, but that's all doom and gloom, as you probably already know. All the information there is on tinnitus is that there's no cure, and that you just have to learn to live with it, which I quite frankly felt was not helpful, and stressed me even further. After a few weeks, I went to a doctor. Again, the negative reinforcement was there, and unfortunately, they weren't very helpful. They told me the same thing that I found on Google. They looked in my ears, didn't find anything. Unfortunately, doctors here in the UK don't really have much training on tinnitus. They don't really know what causes it, and or how to treat it, or how stress can make it worse, really. So yeah, the general practitioners don't have enough information to help. So I went home basically helpless and quite frustrated. I started spiraling quite badly with anxiety and insomnia. I barely slept. I yeah, it was bad. I slept probably 2 hours a night, and I had all sorts of sensations in my fingers and top of my head, like buzzing, almost like vibrating. It was very scary. Ironically, I found help on social media. One of the Facebook groups, someone recommended Julian Cowan-Hill and Joey Remini. So Julian is a psychologist and cranial psychotherapist. He specializes on people with tinnitus, and he has a YouTube channel with loads of information. Julian basically explains that tinnitus is a stress response, that is basically sound of your nervous system. It's because in my case it was because I was under a long-term stress and anxiety, my brain basically started to hear these noises that basically my body was telling me that I need to slow down, that my nervous system was basically blaring with anxiety. Joey Remini is an audiologist from Australia. She wrote a book called Rock Steady, which I downloaded the audio version of. And again, I find it really helpful. Joey is a neuroplasticity professional. If you want to download the book, I can totally recommend it. There's lots of information in it, how you can get better. Joey also runs a program which I didn't purchase as of yet, but from the forum that I've joined on Facebook, a lot of people find it extremely helpful. So, but I can't speak from my own experience because I haven't purchased the program. Joey, the most I took from Joey's book was that I started to try and generate the feelings that I wanted to feel. So I wrote a list of these feelings like happiness, being relaxed and focused. And I started to look for ways how to generate those feelings. So first I had to start to accept that the noise is here for now, that this is what I'm living with. That was probably the hardest part, because of course no one wants to hear constant noise in their brain, but it is the part of the journey, and it's probably the biggest part. The second, I started to find ways to relax. This is a very individual choice. Everyone is very different, so you have to find a way how you relax. For me, it was I was having warm baths with aromatherapy every night, or at least every other night, and I started to do myself a little evening face massages, which I found really relaxing, with a chamomile oil. That really helped. I started to so some people find meditation very helpful. I can't personally meditate very well, but a form of meditation I found that was really beneficial for me was something called body scans. Again, I can talk about those in the next videos following up, or you can just have a look on YouTube. There's plenty of body scan videos, bodies it's like a guided meditations basically. So why those help me, I think, is because I am a very heady person. I'm always very much in my head, thinking ahead and planning, and sort of just locked in my own mind, and I stopped listening to my body. So the body scans really helped me to start noticing the tensions around my shoulders and around my neck, and those little aches and pains, so I could start paying more attention to my body and look after it a little bit better. All this information that I found really helped me and made me starting to make the connection between the body and the mind, and how they are both connected, how we can affect how the mind can affect your body. So yes, I started to put a little time and effort into my self-care. I had to change my mindset a lot. So I started to started to stop obsessing about tinnitus. I kind of have to almost physically force myself not to think about it. So every time it came in my mind, and I started thinking about, oh, a tinnitus, I've got it, I have to live with it. I kind of have to force myself and think about, what is the next thing that I'm going to do that's going to make me feel better, like the evening walk that I started to do with my daughter every night after dinner. Plans that I made with my friends over the weekend, and just started imagining, kind of, daydreaming a little bit about those things instead of obsessing about tinnitus. So that made a huge difference to my mindset and to my well-being. But again, this is very individual to everyone, and you have to find what work for you. Because the things that I'm describing might not be beneficial to yourself. How I feel now, I feel happy. I live a happy, fulfilling life with my husband and my daughter. I didn't think it was possible when I first started experiencing tinnitus. I still hear the noise, but it changed. It's a lot quieter. So from the scale 0 to 10, when it first started, if it was 8 or 9, it's now probably a 2. I can still hear it, especially when I get really stressed. We recently bought a house and we are renovating, so you can imagine things are quite stressful. So I think I can hear it a little bit more, but I am not scared of the sounds anymore. I use it mostly as a sign that I have to look after myself better and relax and, just take care of myself. Um, I mostly don't hear it in the daytime at all. When there is the slightest ambient noise, it kind of masks the noise, so I can't really hear it. I can hear it in the evenings, when it gets quiet. But again, it doesn't bother me. It kind of happened to become just the noise that my body makes. I know that's not probably what you want to hear right now, and that you will want me to say that, it's not there anymore. I do have silent moments that don't happen very often, but they do appear. And every time I notice a silent moment and then this comes back, it's really strange. Like the moments I start thinking about it, I start hearing it. But yeah, I definitely have silent moments, so I'm keeping hopeful. But honestly, it's not affecting my life in a negative way. Um, to be honest, I think it helped me in a lot of ways to change my mindset and uh, look after my environment and myself a little bit better. So it was kind of a blessing in disguise, I think. Um, I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that you will find your way. I want you to know that you can get better, and you will. Um, if you really struggle, please get in touch. Don't be alone. You're not alone. There's lots of help out there. People just don't talk about it much, I guess. Um, so yeah, if you want to chat, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate. Get in touch. Either comment on the video, or there is my email address in the link in the bio. I'll be more than happy to schedule time to talk to you. I hope you have a lovely day. Please do take care of yourself. Bye.